So you have a working version?
Prototype version. We have one so close ready. Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for.
Screen has not been shared, so we can't see the presentation.
Your presentation, she's saying, is not scared. अरे यार, what the hell with Google? Okay. So I think we are now. Yeah, I think now we can see your screen online.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
visible.
okay. Chalo. So yeah, and now I can also see your. Now it's gone. Oh no, it's there. It's there. It's there. Yeah. So Vibe Tribe. Okay.
Thank you everyone for making it to class on time. And we are Vibe Tribe. So just introducing the group, we have Dipesh, Reshma, Shreya, myself, Prerna. We also have two more members, Kunal and Aditi. I think they're on the way. What we are going to get into a little bit is basically what is Vibe Tribe. Okay, like how did we come here? Vibe Tribe is basically a collaborative music control platform for public environments. How did this happen? Basically, how was Vibe Tribe born? To understand this a little better, we will have to go a bit into our initial brief, which, as most of you know, it's a public speaker where people can queue and have multiple tracks going on. To understand this brief better, we had to understand who was our target audience, and then we realized it could be anyone who listens to music. After that, we kind of also wanted to know what are the different types of public spaces. We went deep dive into what are the public spaces, what are the various areas where this could work, and based on those public spaces, we conducted a small experiment to just refresh your mind. We did around 14 interviews and we did this small experiment in the mess, which helped us realize that depending on the action you're performing, the way you listen to music kind of changes, right? So these were some of our outcomes. Like when we went to the mess, everyone's primary focus was to focus on eating. We conducted more interviews after that at different public spaces. And basically, what did this contextual inquiry tell us at the end? What it actually led to was that some people actually face issues with music being too loud and distracting. Language mismatch, sometimes there's lack of control, and people have disagreements about the kind of music that is being played. Our revised brief became something like, can we focus on environments where music is the heart and soul of that environment? So, what were our insights from the affinity mapping? So, as we all know, we conducted contextual inquiry, which is a lot of information. Using affinity, we were able to kind of compress this information into a first level of insights. And then we did a second level of insights where we understood that people have different perspectives and takes on how they feel about music. And sometimes people also have different priorities. And depending on those priorities, music comes first, second, third. So controlling music was also an important part of listening to it. These were just some of the insights we had from the affinity mapping. After this, which which gap do you want to fill for the users? So we wanted to understand what gap should we try to fill now. We try to understand some of our user goals. People like listening to music for socializing, personal expression. And we also realize people have personal constraints. Like some people have social anxiety, so they might not be interested in sharing their choices in music. So there was a lot of problems and there was a lot of opportunity. And these were some of our top insights where participation was highest in pubs, bar, and lounges, and but that was the place where music was the most moderated. Like there was always one person who had control in that space, and that was the DJ. Um, After this, we kind of tried to go deeper, and these were our kind of initial designs that we worked on. We tried to make sort of like a wireframe where we have a home page where everyone can control music, and there's a queued music page. And when you queue your music, there is a countdown timer that starts. We also tried to make it a bit interactive where you could upvote and downvote. Now, how this upvote and downvote works, we'll get deeper into it when we get into our UI. We also kind of had a bit of feedback from a previous presentation about our personas. So we tried to rework on it. We tried to look at it again. We tried to understand how the maintainer of the vibe and the disruptor of the vibe were different from each other. And also kind of understanding how the person who suppresses their vibe is someone who's basically shy or maybe not wanting to try out different music or their music out there. We want to do this more as a B2B thing. We want to approach bars, we want to approach pubs, and we want to offer this as a service to them. We also want to, in the future, try to become partners with someone like Dine Out or Easy Diner, where you're trying to book and place where you're going to, and you also get information about the kind of pub you're going to. And people who do maybe booking through them will get more priority on the queuing list, but that is something we need to still think about. As we realize that a major focus while we are doing a B2B thing, our major focus is going to be the audience and the users who are coming to these pubs and bars. So the way we are going to be deploying this is as a software where the hardware is not going to change. The only thing is that they are going to have a QR code which will have access to the app, and the app is the one controlling the music. But we had to look at a bit of the admin console as well. So the admin console is basically for the pub manager or anyone at the pub or the club who wants to put someone in charge for curating the music. So understand, while as a user you are going, you'll have the perception that you might have a lot of songs to choose from, but these songs will be curated by the manager in charge. We will try to make, like using AI, we will try to curate a playlist for them like Hollywood, Bollywood, and Arjit nights and things like that, which we will try to keep updating on a weekly basis. But we would like to get more. We didn't work on this a lot more because we wanted to focus on the user side of the app more. So just getting into that a little bit. But before we went into even designing, we had already a low fidelity. We looked at some of the what ifs, what we called as edge cases that could happen. Like some of it was, what if the manager forgets to add a playlist? Then what happens in the pub? So we have some solutions that we listed out here. Like we want to send him notifications on WhatsApp and email and any communication channels which he has given on the admin console. From the user side, what if more than one person joins the app in a group and they all queue songs one after the other? We realized that might not be such a big problem because it's already a curated playlist. So they might, although they might end up queuing a lot of songs together, they will all still be from the same vibe. Some public spaces, what does the DJ come in a part of this? Our idea is, as the app, we want to replace the DJ. So these are just some of the edge cases that we had listed. So what happens after a user spots a magical little QR, right? What happens is that we conducted a user testing to figure out what happened after this. So how we went about it is we did the Think Aloud protocol, where we went with a prototype to our users and we tried to look into it. I will take you into this a little deeper. So to understand user testing better, we first of all made a doc which outlined all our tasks, goals, and scenarios. It helped us map out what is a primary and secondary goal. Primary goal being trying to find out how people naturally attempt to queue a song in our app. The second being how people figure out their way to the queue list to find out where is the song in the queue. This helped us figure out whether our navigation in the app is doable, whether they have any difficulties or hiccups going through it. coming to task, first task, we told our users to imagine that they are at a restaurant, cafe, a bar, or a club, and there's a public speaker in the place that they are, and they can use our web app to basically log in and cue their song. Once they have queued the song, the second task was to ask them to navigate through the app and figure out how much time will their queue song would play. This basically gave us an overview on how they are able to find the feature and whether they are able to figure out when the song would play. Just to give you a quick overview, so when we went into user testing, we kind of did 12 users. So as a team, we kind of went in a paired sort of a setting.
8 minutes done, huh? So
Sorry.
no problem. I'm just telling you. So we have 15 minutes per group, so 7 more minutes. Okay.
Went in pairs because we were thinking that one person would moderate the user testing and the other person would observe. So there are a lot of things that get lost when you are the only one who's going. So we went in pairs most of the time. And so what did we learn after doing so much user testing? So I think so this is just like a quick overview of what it looks like. We gave the user the scanner and they are using it. And we did a screen recording with the user's consent. But this is what the flow roughly looked like. And yeah. What we are going to be doing is we'll be running you through our insights, and at the same time, we'll be looking at some of the solutions that we have arrived at. So starting with the first screen, we have something called as a login screen. The reason for this screen is that, let's say when you enter, we need some sort of information to know that who is the person who is queuing the song so that you can't keep queuing a song again and again. So, okay. So the first thing we did was like, this is what our screens look like. And we realized that this, while people use Spotify, they use YouTube, this is a very new experience for everyone. So there needs to be like a small 5-second loading video where people need to understand that you are coming into this space to queue songs with other people. Like one of our users mentioned कि ये app तो बड़ा अच्छा है पर मेरा song कब बजेगा? So they didn't understand the concept that they are queuing with other people. So this was one of the insights. The second insight was we had to give a bit of an onboarding for users when they were coming for the first time. While some of these features were same and similar, we did try to give them a quick overview of where things were located in our app, which we didn't have in our first version. The second thing we did was while we were designing, we kind of didn't assume that we assumed that when you search, someone might scroll down and see the search results. And we noticed that when someone searches, the results need to be there immediately so that they can view the songs if they want to from it. Another thing we also realized was that we had given this heart feature in the form of engagement. We were thinking that maybe it will help our third persona, but we realized that it kind of gave the message of a wish list. Now, everyone was looking for a wish list in our app, which we didn't have because no one was there to kind of come back and listen to their wish list. So we removed that feature and we focused more on the add queue feature, which is there. Another thing we noticed was that while this is a very common feature used to add things to queue in other apps, our users were not able to understand. They kept asking us, where is the add queue feature? So we had to make it into a tiny fill and write the word add to queue. Maybe later, once they get used to using the app, we can upgrade it and make it into an icon. Yeah.
Okay, so for the design, we tried a lot of various explorations, and what we were mainly focusing on is this is a club, and the people are going to be in the club. So how do we bring that experience into the UI? So these are some of the explorations we tried. First, we were going for a very colorful sort of design. Then we were trying gradients, and that was also not working. So after a lot of more variations, we came and landed on this neon kind of a UI. And we also use the very neon green as a primary color. Yeah, so in this screen, as Naina said, the hello. Yeah, so the previous design, what we felt like, it wasn't really capturing the energy that we were going for. So in our redesign, we tried to give them the feel that they are in a club, and we've also incorporated that into the colors and the overall layout of the new design. And we also noticed in our user testing that as the users were using the app, they were looking for, some sort of updates, like what is happening. They were really not sure what is going on throughout the app. So in the redesign, we've added all these like little notifications that whenever somebody adds a song, it notifies them, and whenever there is some sort of activity going on in the app, it keeps updating the users. And this is the queue list page. And in this page, we noticed a lot of things, like people are not really, the reactions as they were very up first, they were really having a hard time navigating where it is. So in the redesign, we put it more in the middle and more accessible to them. And also people are not really able to recognize the up and down arrows, upward and downward. So we've redesigned that as more common feature where they're able to recognize more. And again, we've made this the song that the user is adding that was not really prominent in the previous design, and we've made that more prominent in the new design. Yeah, and this is our final design. Yeah, so as you can see, we've tried to capture the feeling of the club throughout the whole design. We've used a lot of gradients and basically made it pop mode. Yeah, these are our final screens.
This is just so as you can see, like from the very first version, the wireframes which we had, and then the second and the third, we have really tried our best to capture the energy that you see in a pub or a club or any space where music is at the heart of it in our digital experience. This is just like a quick reflection of what we have learned from this course. Like for me, it is basically that I had a specific view and approach about research and how we do it. And I think during this course, learning about contextual inquiry as well as the other research technique has really reframed my understanding of how we used to conduct research before. So the course introduced me to a lot of new research methods, which I hadn't experienced before, and it taught me how research can be used to get insights from users and how to make a better version of whatever you're working on, the product, the interactive product.
And I found that just assumptions are not enough. You need to reach out to users to validate your assumptions. And good design is not about solving problems, but about understanding people and their needs.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. I can see that some people are writing notes, so thank you. I'm just requesting others also to please write. So thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, we just finished on time, so that is very good. So thank you very much also for that. There is some comments, but I have put them in the. Thank you. Okay, the second group is appointments 1. Please.